It's time for another one. In this video, I actually remembered to hide the rat this time. So the rat is hidden in the video somewhere. See if you could find him. Don't worry about that. We got more of the front end together after I take it apart to put a radiator in it, and then I put it back together. And a couple other things. Good morning. It is a much better morning. I'm feeling much better. Let it warm up in here, and we're gonna get to work. So I got the cheapest radiator ever, but I'm a little worried about it. One of the straps is broke off the box. We've got a half a staple left holding it together, but that's not the most concerning thing. The most concerning thing is there's a puncture wound in the box, and there's a circle that looks like they probably had a wheel or something sitting on it. Yeah, same for the bottom. So I'm gonna pop this thing open and hope that it's not damaged. So let me get set up here. Unfortunately, it's just like that sometimes with buying things online and the shipping companies being either, you know, not caring or rushed so much that they can't get things out or shipped, delivered. Well, we got styrofoam in it. That's a good sign. There's a dent in the styrofoam. I don't see any damage to the radiator. We might be okay. Again, this was the cheapest radiator I could find. I want to say it was $111, maybe less. I think it was $111 though, with free shipping on eBay. What am I doing? I brought a pair of scissors over here. Make sure nothing's wrong with it. So this is a radiator for a 57 Chevy. I figured it's such a mass-produced, popular car that would be a cheap and easy radiator to acquire and deal with. It's very thick. I think it was a 3 or 4 row. That's gonna cool that 307 really nicely. And the hose outlets are on the right size. So I think we can be happy with that. It doesn't look like it took any damage. And it'll be easy to make brackets for it to mount it to the Plymouth. I'm gonna go ahead and cut 2 pieces of cardboard, one for the front, one for the back, to protect these fins while we're working on the car. So we are at 21 1/4 by 17 1/4. So let me get that done. I'll be back. All right, fins are nice and protected. We got one thing left to do. So, everybody knows. We are going to go ahead and pull this hood back off, and I want to see how that radiator is going to fit down in here. I probably should have checked the radiator before I took it up. Oh yeah, that's right. I got a brace up in here. Oh, I think I can still get around it. What am I talking about? You can't even see it. Anyway, yeah, let's get this hood off of here. There we go. Hood is off. Where am I picking? Maybe I can get it. I'll just leave it right here for now. I think I'm gonna have my cousin come up this weekend and help me organize the shop, because I've been letting it go too much lately. Stay. Whew. I think I'm going to have to cut this brace off, but I don't think I need it anymore. So let's get this cut off then. Oh yeah, core support didn't move. I'll cut this off too. I only have one heavy duty battery for my Milwaukee tools. Probably should have did this part first. There we go. I think it's gonna work. I just gotta move it over to the side just a touch so that the bottom hose will clear, unless I wanna go electric fans. Then I can leave it where it's at. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think we'll be able to get this radiator in here no problem at all. The petcock is on the front, so maybe I come up with it a mile and over with it. Yeah, okay. That worked. Just got to offset it a little bit and it'll be okay. If it was a little taller, it'd be easier, but I think it's perfect for what it is. It'll be fine. So over here, I can just do a flat piece of stock that sticks off of the side of the core support. And then over here, just like a piece of angle iron to hold it up. Again, the radiator has to be offset a little bit, unless I go electric fan. Which this clutch fan is bent up, so I probably should just do a different fan other than this clutch fan. I just don't like the sound of electric fans. They're always so loud, but if it makes sense. Yeah, because this fin on this fan is bent. Let's whip up a piece of metal real quick just to hold this thing up. Let's do that. It's in park. found this piece of bracing I cut off. It looks like a nightstick. I feel like the big boss man.
You're the big boss man, I'll make you walk the line. You better watch out for
All right, so what I have decided to do is just take this piece of angle iron, which I use a lot of this stuff, don't I? And I marked it out. This is the side that's gonna face the front of the car. So I think I'll just take a piece of this, cut it to length, drill some holes in it, weld some nuts to the backside so I can bolt the radiator. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on, let me lift it. I can bolt the radiator to it just like that, and then weld this to the core support. It should make it pretty simple. It's cheap and simple. I'm gonna have to clean this up, cut it, and drill it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. I'll go ahead and pop this back off real quick so I can mount up my radiator. I gotta get a bunch of hardware too. Just nuts and bolts and screws and things. That's all right. I just need to grill out of the way. There we go. I'm just gonna clamp this piece of U-channel under here so I have to set the radiator on physically so it's not sliding up and down. This should work. There we go. Yeah, perfect. All right, move this back out of the way again. Grab the radiator. There we go. Definitely have to space this thing back a little bit. Those inside of the horn's actually pretty close. Interesting. All right, let me grab something to space it up a little bit because the petcock is right there. Hopefully the hood will close over that. I'm not really sure. Worst case, I cut a giant hole in the core support for the petcock to stick through. Not a huge deal. I need a piece of wood. There we go. retest the hood just to make sure. I don't know that that would fit over that. All right. Let me grab a couple more shims and then I'll move you where you guys can see. All right, I have my signature ratchet strap and 2x4s holding the radiator up. It's pretty solid. I want to lay the hood on and see if that would clear. If that's not going to clear, then we need to work on something else. I don't think it's clearing. I'm gonna look. It doesn't clear. I'll show you, hang on one moment. Yeah, we got some trouble there. I have to rethink this. That's all right, it's part of it, so let's get this figured out. All right. I know that will clear. Do I know though? I should probably test fit it anyway. A block of aluminum. I'm going to require your assistance in letting me know if we have clearance up there, because I can't see it, so let me know. So I bolted my angle iron to my radiator, which is, I had some J-clips. They were thin and flat. Saved me from buying hardware right now. I think what I can do is just drill holes so I can bolt that on. And I was just going to weld it top and bottom, but if I can make it removable, then I might as well make it removable. I might find a better solution in the future. But for sure, I'm going to have to take the clutch fan out. I don't think it's going to, I don't know. Maybe it will clear that lower hose. Yeah, maybe it will clear the hoses. I'm just going to have to drill a hole. I'm going to take probably a hole saw and just cut a hole right there in the core support, and then use a piece of exhaust and kind of notch it out to clear for the petcock. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. I'm gonna take my hole saw and cut a hole that's big enough for the petcock right there, if I can do it. I've got this hole dozer. Oh no, I had a hole dozer. It's over there now. There we go. I gotta pull the radiator out before I go all the way through. I don't want to do anything silly. But that's gonna work just fine. And then I'll lay a piece of metal in there to give that its strength back. No big deal. Well, I did it. I got all the way through. Now I gotta clean that up a little. Let's see how that looks. So that worked. It might not be totally ideal right now. I think what I'll do is, I'm pretty sure this is standard pipe fitting. I'll get a, oops. Anyway, there we go. I think what I can do is just get a pipe fitting extension that comes to the edge, and then I'll be able to get to it easier. Like, that would probably work, but I couldn't see me trying to reach down behind the grill to get to that, when if I put an extension here, I could just reach up and grab it. I think that's gonna be the best way to go. I mean, I could cut this out completely and just put a really thick piece of strap across here, but I don't wanna do all that. I think this will work. All right, let me show you what I got going on down here. This piece of U-channel, I'm gonna weld the nut to the back side of the bottom piece of U-channel. And then the top piece, I'm gonna weld to the core support like that. And then I'll be able to triangulate that from the core support down so it's nice and strong. And then I'll weld the bottom piece to the frame. And then I'll trim it all up and make it look nice, round it out after the fact. But that's what I've been working on. I wanna get this core support boltable so where it can be, you know, installed and removed while I'm working on things, so. And I've got a piece of rubber in there as a spacer. That way, if I need to go up or down with it in the future, I'll be able to shim it up or down, use thinner rubber, you know, things like that. So I'm gonna get these all welded up. Woo! The ground is very hot. Better find a better ground. Oh, I know. You go under. It's looking all right. I just want to get everything tacked in. I don't want to weld everything solid just yet in case it doesn't work. I don't need to cut it back off. All right, let me get the other one in and I'll get back with you guys. All right, so this is what I've got for now. It's a little ugly right now, but when I get the core support back out, I'll make it pretty. But I got both sides done, tacked in place. So now I'm gonna cut these braces off the front and probably go ahead and pull the fenders back off. I'm gonna hold the bumper up to the car and see how much of the frame horns I gotta chop off. And then I'm gonna pull the fenders off the car. Chop off the frame horns, put the fenders back on. Well, I gotta cut everything underneath the fenders too, where they're hitting. I gotta do that, but one thing at a time, right? Everything all at once, I don't know. There we go. I'd say 1 3/4 is what I should cut off. Yeah. My bumper is very bent, but whatever. I'll cut 1 3/4 off. Or at least 1 1/2 inches. Probably, I would just go ahead and do 1 3/4 or maybe even 2 inches because I can always space the bumper out. It's easier to shim it out than to try to draw it in. So I'll go ahead and cut 2 inches off. Just to show you what I have going on over here, this is my new core support mounting bracket. I'm gonna weld that solid to the frame all the way around, trim it up, make it nice, box this end in here, weld all that solid, and then make another brace that goes from there to there. Should be plenty strong. And then I'll hook my transmission lines up to the bottom of the radiator and some radiator hoses, and we should be good to start cooling this motor next time we run it. But now I'm gonna go ahead and mark these and lop this off. I have whipped up this little piece of angle iron here. Let's see if we can zoom out. There we go. I'm going to weld these carriage bolts to this piece of angle iron, and then that will drop through and it will bolt to the bumper bracket. I'm going to split this in half so I got 2 of them. Anyway, bolt that to the bumper bracket, and then when I hold the bumper up to the car, it's going to lay right there. And then I will tack that on to the car, and that will hold the bumper up for now. This is all just for mock-up purposes. Eventually what I'm gonna do is take a thick piece of steel plate and weld it on there with some nuts welded inside, kind of like factory, so it has something to keep the bumper on. But this will be good for test fitting. This will be good for test fitting. I just have it sitting up there now, but you can see how that side of the bumper droops down really bad. It was caved in when I first got the car. I'm not using this bumper in the end, but I want to use it for test and fitting. I'm going to try to straighten that out best I can. Well, it lays a lot better now. It might be a little high, but it's good for mock-up purposes. I really need to clean things up real quick and then get back after it. Not a whole lot of movement there, that's good. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and pull this bumper back off, throw a couple more tacks in those brackets, and then my chrome, then we can start slapping the grill and everything back in just for fun. I'm not gonna have to get to any of this again for a while. I'm gonna jump back onto the mechanical aspect of things. Unfortunately, my radiator hoses still haven't showed up yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this front end back together again. I wanted to do all the mechanical stuff this afternoon, but without the radiator hoses, the only thing I could do is bleed the brakes again and top off the transmission. But I can't drive it, it's pouring rain today. I'm just gonna, let's just make it pretty again. Well, that's subjective, I guess. Let's make it kind of look like a car again. That's what I'm gonna spend the rest of the afternoon doing. And hopefully my stuff will get here today by the end of the day, and I'll be able to get this thing running and driving again next week. You know, if there's one thing you can count on with this channel, it's consistency. Not progress, but consistency. Because I'm consistently and constantly doing the same things over and over and over. How many times am I gonna put this car together and take it apart? A million. But that's really it. I mean, this is really part of it. Test fitting the car. They don't show it on, you know, TV shows and stuff, but there's a lot of finesse that goes into it. You know, when you're hanging panels. When you hang original panels back on the car that came off of, it's not so bad. But when you're trying to make stuff work out of a car that's been, you know, beat to death in a field for longer than I was alive, or, you know, longer than I've been alive, rather, it gets a little complicated. The center balance, I don't know if I'll be able to get down into that. Maybe. Yeah, let me do that first. I also need a V for my grill. I don't have the V. I just have the base model 6-cylinder grill center. which has got studs on it that you're supposed to use to hold this grill together, but I'll show you one moment. But, well, there might be enough left on there. That's what holds it on. But mine's broken. Cool though. It might jam on there and wedge in place, I don't know. I'll have to try it. There it is. That's how it goes. Sorry I blocked all of that. But that's how that goes. My headlight bucket. I've seen better days, I think. She's doing her best. Dang it, you know? Come on. Give her a break. Hang it in there. It's on brand for the car, right? This is all just to make us feel better inside. The warm and fuzzies. See what it looks like kind of as a car. It's funny, even I forgot how bad this car was until I went back and rewatched some of the video, the compilation video. Whew! What was I thinking getting into this car? I was thinking I wanted a 58 Plymouth and I can't afford one. That's what I was thinking. Wide open highway and the sun's going down, but feel alright, but feel alright. Alright, what's next? These lower pieces. But they won't clear. I think I have to cut some of the corner off of the bottom of the frame. Yeah. Just that little corner. Could use a touch more cutoff, but I'm not going to do it. I was going to try to avoid it, but I don't think I can any longer. I've got to grind these old heads off these bolts so I can bolt this roll pan, splash pan to the bottom of the fender. You can almost see the life returning to the car. Let's hang this bumper real quick. I'm glad these bumpers don't weigh anything. You gotta pick up the bumper for the 59 Buick. Oh yeah, that bumper's way too high. It's like an inch too high. That's all right, we'll deal with it later. We'll deal with that later. That's a Ford headlight. Ooh. Not bad. It's just all brown rust. Nothing looks like a car. Oh yeah, that bumper is way too high. I might have to deal with that. It might bother me too much. That is much better. Now to clean up this place and get some beauty shots. I ran out of welding wire when I lowered the bracket on that side, so that side is just clamped for now. It's the afternoon, so I don't feel like going to the hardware store right now. It's right next to a school, and the school buses will block up everything, so let me get some cleaning done.
That thing was alive? So they say.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed that one. We did get some work done, which I'm happy about. I guess we should go ahead and go over the work that we got done real quick, shouldn't we? I got all this done off camera. I put the fenders back on. I got to do some more work down here. They're not perfect yet. The gaps aren't good, but I've got clearance now to where I can adjust things and make the gaps good. Got the bumper and all mocked up. Got that done. Got our radiator in. Waiting on the hoses. They're supposed to be in the mailbox when I get home, so yay. We'll look at this gap real quick. You can see this has got to come back a little bit, but again, I cut enough out to where I can clearance it now, so I think going forward, I would like to get the mechanical stuff wrapped up to where this car can drive around again. And then I'll get a wiring harness in it, but I want to jump back on the body. I want to get the hinges, the hood hinges working. I want to get everything mounted up to where I could drive it if I wanted to. So I've got a lot of inner structure and stuff to make, but that's for, you know, the coming weeks. I think right now, we're doing pretty good, I think. Well, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate my channel members, George Faber, I guess it would be Faber, Fubar Model Yard, Bluegrass Rust and Revamp, Sawdust and Cigarettes, and Hell's Damned. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Every little bit helps, you know. We got to get this thing moving forward. I'm really hoping to get it driving very, very soon. So every little bit helps a lot because boy, we need it, don't we? All right. Anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I guess I should mention you're supposed to say like and subscribe and comment and all that, but I'm not worried about that. You'll do what you're going to do, right? You don't need me to tell you what to do. Anyway, as always, I will see you on the next one. Thanks again and take care.